Hello, this is Sonja from my happy space. Welcome back at my channel. I'm going to continue my journey in making my 50th birthday album. I have a video about how I made this cover. I've used sort of the white wash technique. I'm using the Amity Bloom Rosabella collection. As I said, I've got the video. I made this. Now today I want to continue making my signatures and sew it in. See how far we can come. Maybe I can decorate the front page or the introduction page also of the video. So this is going to be a long video, or for me it's going to be long. I don't know, maybe I edit it a bit shorter. So I've got my cup of coffee ready here. Because, yeah, as I said, I'm not familiar, I'm not the expert. I've just also followed a video how to do the signature. I followed a video from Nick the Booksmith. I'll link her details down below here. She's got very good tutorials how to bind books and things like that. So I'm going to show you what papers I want to put in my signatures. If you need to junk journal, signatures is just your collection of papers to make the one sort of binding or stack of papers which you're going to bind into your book. But I'll show you obviously all of that in a minute. So let me show you what I was thinking of putting in it. So first of all, I've got the papers, which is from the Amity Bloom shop. I will link her details down below if you're interested to pick it up. Her thing collections are beautiful. I've got a combination of many collections. So I'm using all her ephemera. Yes, some pockets, as you can see. Lots of pattern papers. Then obviously there's ephemera, like this cute little sort of embroidery hoop. I was thinking of using this maybe on my introduction page with a photo of myself, my sister. My sister and I am a twin. So obviously we're celebrating our birthday together. And then she's got these beautiful pattern papers, which I'm going to use as part of my signature. Here's some more of the ephemera, little sort of ribbon hoops and some spools. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use. So first of all, this is going to be part of my signature, and then I'm going to use things like doilies, which I can sort of fold. This is just doilies I had in my stack, so you can fold it up like that and be part of a signature as an interesting aspect. See how I can use this. Maybe I'll just use this as a decoration. This is beautiful. I've had this in my stats for so long and I've been really eager to use it. Then I've got loads of materials, ribbon, or rather ribbon, which is absolutely gorgeous, which I just got from a local haberdashery shop, with more or less the colors. I sort of took this to the haberdashery shop and I've just looked and see what colors goes with it. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. And I've got this. Love these little flowers. They're absolutely adorable and they go perfectly with this. And then I've got some buttons. I've got loads of other buttons also, but I just got these buttons the other day. They're sort of vintage. I love that one because this whole theme of Isabella's sort of journal is sewing and embroidering, things like that. So I want to continue with this theme. So I've got this vintage buttons. I love this one also. This is less vintage, but yeah, I thought it would work very well. And I will go for my stash also and see what else I've got. So I've got that. Then obviously when you do signatures, you always need some other interesting papers. So I'll show you what I've got for that. So I've got this whole stack of things. I've got this beautiful, I love the color of this music sheet. So we can use that as a signature. This is sort of a vellum stationery paper which somebody once gave me, so we can use that as interest. And then I've got this embroidery book, so I thought we can definitely use some of that in there also. I will think that will work perfectly. I don't think there's color in here. Let's see. It's just beautiful, all these things. And then I'm just looking for I've got this recipe book and I love this papers, but maybe we can use some of that. I don't think I'll use the recipes because maybe I will one or two, maybe a recipe that sort of reminds me of my sister myself, but I will use some of these papers in here. And then I've got this book. It's got these beautiful images. It's what's the book name? It's a, I don't know, it looks Japanese, this, but the name of the book is The Silent Traveler in Oxford. Might be a famous book. Let me know if you've ever heard of this book, but it's got these beautiful images of London. And my sister and I, we both lived in London for a while, so it'd be interesting just to use some of these images of London. And there also. So, I hope it's London. Could be Oxford also. I think they've got red buses in Oxford also. So, yeah. I'm still debating if I'm going to use this because, as I said, I'm trying to keep with the embroidery theme, but I mean, love flowers also. So I might use this book. It's about the Rondebosch Common. It's sort of a common here in Cape Town. I love this hand-drawn painted flowers in it. And then I've got this embroidery book also. This is a bit more modern, but I might use some of that also. I'm not very keen on the black and white. If it was sort of colors or something like that, I might have used it, but yeah, I can maybe cut something out like that and use it as a tuck spot. I will see how it goes. I think the real nice ones I've already used. I actually like this. I might actually use that sort of as also instead of in one of the signatures, I can put the doily in, and one of them I can put this round thing. Anyway, these beautiful roses also. So that's what I'm going to do for the signatures. Then here in South Africa, we've got this magazine. It's called the Ideas Magazine, which is very much inspired. I would think it's inspired by Daphne's Diary because it's also these beautiful muted papers. For instance, I love this old sewing machine. And then there is a sort of this one is actually about material and embroidery, so I can use that. For instance, here is about looming. So there's definitely things in here I can use. What they also like it, they've got like sometimes lots of cute quotes. I was thinking actually use that also. This books belong to. Maybe I can cut that out and put it in the inside. We will see. And then there's another one which I actually saw quite cute ones from. For instance, in this book they also have a stitching image, so I can use that. And then here at the back, that is beautiful quotes. Like Princess, I love that. That is beautiful. I can use that. Lots of images I can use. So I think I've got enough to put in my journal. Okay, the next thing you need to do is we need to create a template. What we're going to do is we're going to have this materials, just a piece of white cloth. We're going to put our signatures on this and sew it in. So we need to get a cardstock that fits in there, a piece of cardstock. It needs to be quite sturdy. So I'm just going to get a piece of cardstock that fit in there. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut it. It's actually just a 1 inch, coincidentally, and it fits perfectly in there. So obviously we need to decide how many signatures we're going to have. It's good to have odd numbers, just works better. Obviously, I'm not going to have 5. I'm not going to fit 5 signatures in there, and 1 is obviously a little bit too pathetic. So basically, you find just the halfway point, because that's going to be your middle signature. So obviously, half of a 1 inch signature is half an inch. So I'm just going to mark that there. And I'm just going to connect the two. Okay, it's not a very good one. And then I'm just going to choose more or less a little bit from the edge and a little bit from the edge. So it's more like this. And I'm just going to connect here also. So we've got 3 lines here for our 3 signatures. Not very even, as you can see, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, now we're going to just say that's our top. And now we're going to go about 1 inch from the top. We got first mark there, and then about 1 inch from the bottom. Second mark there, and then I'm going to do it sort of a little bit down there, and then a little bit down there. Then I'm just going to cross the lines where I made my marks. Okay, I definitely didn't do a very good job, but wherever the lines is crossing there, I'm going to make holes. So you can just take a needle and then poke holes in there. I'm going to poke my holes a little bit next to that line just to make it a little bit more even. Now that I have my holes in here, I'm going to put it on my cloth. Glue it on. I'm going to use some fabric glue because I think that will work the best. So let's just let that dry quite a lot. Now we're just going to fold the signatures, and a good measure for you to know how big your signatures will be is putting it in your book and see when it's flat where it's going to be. So actually, to tell you the truth, this having it this side is almost a little bit too big. So I need to be a little bit smaller than this. So I think this would be this is A4 size paper. So I think that if you hold it horizontal, I think the height will work perfectly. But now we just need to figure out how long it needs to be. So if I put it in here, more or less there, but I'm going to make it a little bit less. So obviously it can be smaller than this, but it can't be bigger. If it's too big, we can always cut some off. Okay, so now when I fold my signatures, I'm first going to start with all my papers from Amity Blue. Okay, I've cut all my things out and choose what I want. So obviously this is the measurement. So I've decided to use this magazine picture, and obviously I'm going to rather do it like this. So it's going to be, the coffee is going to be on that side. So basically what I do now is just I cut this bit off because I know this is how big it needs to be. So that's that. And then I've got this beautiful paper here, which I can just cut in half. Fold in half rather. And let's see how that works. So it needs to obviously be like this. So basically now I can just cut this off. Unfortunately, as I said, my cutting machine or cutting cutter is not very good with this papers, this fine papers. I need good cardstock. It's not the best cutting, and I think the blade, I've changed the blade already, and also that's not really working either. So I need to cut these just as it is. So there's another signature there. I love this quote. Whoever said the small things don't matter has never seen a match start a wildfire. So obviously now I can maybe just use this as a ephemera piece or as a background, because if the moment I do that, I'm not going to see this quote. So I'm going to put this aside. I love this wooden grain. So if I do it like this, even although it is upside down, I think it still would be interesting. Now I'm approaching this. So I'm just going to go over to the others just to show you. So obviously I've got some more paper here. So I can decide, do I want to put the paper next to each other and make a signature? So that's a possibility, but then obviously I just need to strengthen it there in the middle. So that's maybe what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put it more or less so I can see that. I rather want the writing on. And then I'm going to just cut it out around it. So then that can be another page. So that is how I'm going to create these pages. So I'll just put them aside also. And then this pages, I'm just going to fold in half. And then I think that should be okay. Let's measure that. It's a bit too big, but I think I can keep it because I was fairly conservative, so I can keep it. It's nice if it's different. This beautiful paper I got for, I think, I don't know how you use it, but it's also definitely to do with embroidery. So I'm just going to fold that in half also. It gives nice texture, and that works perfectly also in there. So I can just do that like this. Okay, I've put the signatures together, but then I've realized I've clamped them already together. So I'm not going to give you now a flip through for it. I'm obviously going to give you at the end. So I've just put my 3 signatures together with all my insides. I made it that it is sort of stuck together. So what we need to do is we need to get a template now to work in our signature. So what I've done is I've just taken a piece of paper, folded in half more or less, and then I've just also wrote there. Then I just wrote there also at the top. So I know that's the top, and I've literally put it next to it, and I've just made marks, and now I'm going to also just poke a holes in it. Now we're going to use this as a template to make our holes in our signature, so we can actually work it then into our book. So basically we're going to put our first signature there, third, and we're going to put the holes in there, put it in here, and then we're going to work it in. But you'll see in a minute how I'm going to do that. This is our first signature. So we put that in the middle there. Make sure obviously it is lined up. And I don't know if you can just hold it like this. I think the best thing is to close it, so it can sort of be as it's supposed to be, and then you just poke the holes where you're supposed to poke it in. You must poke it through. Sorry, I can't, my camera angle is not perfect. Yeah, so there it is, and that. So I've done that. So I'm just going to do the others also. Just hold it. Okay, we've got our signatures now. That is the top side. So I'm actually going to mark almost a T there also with Koki. Just a very light dot, so I know that is the top. So obviously I'm going to use this embroidery thread. I've just done it. She didn't say in the video as far as I know how much, but I just sort of done it 3 times the length. I'm going to make a knot at the bottom here. Okay, so basically I'm going to start from the back. So I want, I think this one to be my last one, and I want this one to be my first one. So I'm going to start with this one, and then this one more, the muted one in the middle. So first of all, just make sure you've got it the right side up. So I'm going to do this first. So first of all, turn it over so that side is there. Pull it through at the bottom till it stops with my knot. Then I'm just going to put it through that knot at the bottom here. So it go totally through. So it pokes through there. Top. So it's fairly nice and tight. Then you can go to that hole there, through there. Obviously every time just pull it fairly tight, but you will pull it tight at the end also. Now just put it through the correspondent then through that hole, and then through the correspondent hole, and then obviously through the correspondent hole there at the top. So it's fairly self-explanatory. Oh, no, see if I've done that now wrong. It's supposed to be that hole. So it's that first hole there. Okay, so now you just want to make sure it's fairly tight, not too tight. You can make a knot. So just make a knot as close as possible to there. So it looks like that. So now the second signature. So yeah, this is how it can be. So you can put your second signature like this. And obviously, and then you're going to go through the top like this. You're going to go through that hole. Okay, it's time to put it now in. Now what she's done is she's gave it a headband. But I already have a little edge there from my serviette. Unfortunately not at the bottom, but I think I'm not going to bother with the bottom. I actually could have made this book, the pages a bit bigger, because if I push it up to the top so that headband sort of come through so you can see it, that's the idea. So it looks pretty. Then there is quite a big gap here at the bottom. So I'm thinking I'm not going to put it so high. I'm going to put it like sort of like here. So this is going to look, but let's put a piece of paper underneath here to secure it. And then I'm going to glue some fabric glue on top of there. Okay, while we're waiting for the book edges to dry, I want to work on my cover or one of my pages. And this is one of the printables, which is one of these embroidery hoops. So obviously I'm going to put a brad there, one of these brads. I'll choose later. But what I want to do is I want to put a photo of my sister myself here. And I chose this one because I love the blues and things, how it works. So I want to cut it. I want to first put this at the back. And then I'm just going to cut around it. Something like that. I would have liked to put something more blue there, but I think this I have to do. Maybe I'll do it like this. It's not very straight, but okay, let's put that down. I think what I'll do is I'll put something over there also. Then I've got this saying, together is our favorite place. And I thought that's a very cute sort of quote for my sister myself. So I'll cut that out and put that also there. I might see if I can find a washi tape there. I don't like that edge. I think this washi tape will work perfect. Put it there. And then put it there also, just for a little bit of interest. Okay. Might see if I can find a flower to pop there. Got these puffy stickers, maybe something like that. And yes, okay. So let's choose a bread. Okay, I can do a white one, or even that. I think I like the twirly one. I think that's going to look nice. Or let's see, pink heart. It's always cute. I think I'm going to go actually for the blue one. So the idea is obviously that you swing it open like that. I might put something else on top of here also. Okay, I've put this golden halo on there and 50. So that is, I think, very nice. So let's see how our book is doing. I think it's dry. Luckily, we're going to put some paper over there because it doesn't look the best. This side is not 100% dry yet. So I'll keep that on there. But what we can do is we can start to put the cover paper on again. I've printed it out again, but I printed it from a different printer in my home, and look the difference. It's so much more bright and beautiful. So I'm very excited about that. So because that goes perfectly, it's almost exactly the same color. So I'm going to just cut this out to the right size, and then we can put it on there. That little bit comes out there, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Okay, this was a marathon, I must say. I made this book over 2 days. There is a few things I need to maybe add a little bit of washi tape, or I need to add extra piece of paper there I've got, so I'll do that in a minute. So I'll give you a quick flip through. This is my first page. Obviously this blank page is places I can do some glancing and put photos on, so obviously I can use it to my advantage. Then this page, I think for the moment I'm going to leave this here because I like actually how that looks on this page. So I'm just going to put it through there, and then I can always cover this at the back also up, so I'm going to leave that there. So this is the crinkly paper. This is the embroidery book, that old-fashioned journaling card. This is the pattern papers of Amity Bloom. This is the magazine print of the coffee, doily, music, embroidery, and this is an envelope, some cardstock, book page. This is the back of page of Amity Bloom. Amity Bloom, magazine, music notes, magazine, Amity Bloom, embroidery book, envelope, it's crinkly paper, card, doily, Amity Bloom, craft paper, embroidery book, embossing. I think I forgot to put that in the video. I've just embossed white cardstock also. I like that idea. Side, and then that's the same as we go back. And that is the last one. Amity Bloom, magazine, cardstock, Amity Bloom, crinkly paper, magazine, doily, music, other side of the envelope, embroidery book, magazine, craft paper, Amity Bloom, another embossing, craft and magazine, embroidery at the back of the envelope, and music and doily, and that's a magazine with the coffee and the crinkly shiny paper, Amity Bloom, and journaling card, and there you go, that's the back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to fill that with beautiful photos of our birthday and our growing up, my family and everything, just as a memory. At the moment it's nice and flat, but I'm sure it will go lots and bulky as I put my first things in there. And as I said, this for the moment is here. I might change it later. Don't know if I would maybe put it to there, but for the moment it's living there. It doesn't really matter. So I hope you enjoyed this journey, and let me know if you want to see some more. If you want to see me decorate some pages and let into flip through, yeah, I'd love to show you that if you're interested in doing and seeing that. You must have a fantastic week, and I hope to speak to you on Friday, God willing. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't, and God bless you. Bye-bye.